thank you for joining us. Thanks for clicking on our face. We are going to be bringing you another edition of UPR One Shots, where we discuss the very first episode of a new television series, or at least new to us. Some of us, let me say, because some of us have seen this before. They're going to get petty about it. But yeah, we're talking about it and we're drinking because, you know, we are the drunks of UPR. But also, we had to bring on the very first drunk of UPR. The executive himself will be joining us. Hello, how are you?
You know what? Somebody said drinking, and I said, I gotta be there, man. I gotta be there if we're gonna be drinking. Hey, ho, ho. This has gotta go. You know what is so funny about this show? That's funny about the show and this team baddies with a cup of Vic is that I show up and the show starts and it's all three of them and I'm like, where am I at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not cool enough to be in the kids club, right?
Look, I was trying to give you an introduction, but if you just wanted to pop out,
I'm so glad you realized that I need an introduction, man. And I'm wearing these glasses because I decided to get in character mode for once. I'm blind.
It's called a warning. A warning for our audience that there's someone who isn't supposed to be here.
There you go.
Are you really blind in those glasses? Like,
I'm blind. I can't see anything, but I can fight better than everybody.
Facts.
So, speaking of blind, I came into the show blind because I've never seen it. I've never seen this Daredevil on Netflix, nothing. I've never seen it. So it was fun to try to check it out for the first time because some of my co-hosts have been ranting and raving about how good this series is. So we'll see.
I like this Tito's vodka now. I gotta give that credit, but I'm not being sponsored by that. But carry on.
So, well, since this was my first time viewing it, I'd like for someone who's more experienced in the series to discuss what they thought about it, rewatching the first episode.
I'm glad you asked me.
Oh my God, the guy's a guest and he's already taken over. Jesus.
First of all, I'm not a guest. It's still an unpopular review. Okay, I'm not a guest. But here's the thing, right?
So Stevie Wonder's go first?
Hold on, let me pull up this thumbnail in case some of us forgot who's on it.
Yeah, I started to curse Ron out when he said that shit to me. I'm like, oh, I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I said I'm going to be here, right? So, I'm experienced because this is back when I used to love the Marvel series when it was on Netflix, and it was good. And this was the very first one. This is the mothership, if you will, of the Marvel series, and it comes out in the bank. It automatically shows you we're not the 2003 movie, right? We're not the 2003 movie. We actually have a lot of action. We actually have some good acting. We actually know how to put some characters together and express this. The amount of good characters that came out of this series, not just season 1, episode 1, but this series with the Elektra, with freaking Kingpin, who's a great Kingpin. It took me years to find out that was also the bug off of Men in Black. That's a future episode coming, right? And as well as the Punisher came from this series. It just always was in your face with this series in each season, one by one. So if you only saw it just now, shame on you, right? Shame on you for missing such a great.
So we seem to be having some technical difficulties. Hold on. Let's see if we can get him back in.
That is wonderful.
Shame on you.
So
shame on you for missing such a great series.
This is why we don't have special guests on our show.
I gotta.
Ain't nobody more special than me.
Well, I'm glad you admitted that, but I gotta agree with this. This show is tremendous.
The pause of his joke.
This show is actually really amazing. I never saw. You mentioned the 2003 movie, Daredevil. Never saw it. Don't seem like I'll ever go out my way to go see it. But this show was just so gritty. That's what I liked about the show. It was so gritty. And it just lets you know what kind of show. I love that they let you know that this is still part of that MCU. I forgot what part that they said that let you know. And it had to.
They mentioned something about the fight
in New York,
and that was like Avengers.
Thank you. Situation. So it lets you know it's still part of the MCU, but they're just doing more of the street level stuff. I do like how you mentioned Elektra, Punisher, Kingpin. And I think these guys get a lot of credit, but even someone like Karen and Foggy, who I think really helped with that series too. No, they didn't have superpowers or nothing, but I think it just had a sense of balance to the show. The fight scenes were awesome. I watched it for the first time in many years, and I'm watching. I said, "Wow, I forgot how gritty this show." And they mentioned something. I think they said on Disney Plus, it's not as like they took out certain scenes from Netflix, and then like they did, right? Okay.
No.
Yeah, because you know it was so gritty.
It's still
what's
Disney
the
at
point?
the end of the
If
day.
I had to
But
up my
after
ratings thing, they said specifically you needed to have like
you had to change. See, I didn't know that.
But at the same time, after Doctor Strange 2, you know, you would think that they kind of like eased up on a lot of their rules, because Doctor Strange 2 was really, really a little dark.
Well, so I don't know if you ever saw. I don't want to go all over the place, but since this is just a conversation about.
You said Moon Knight.
Yeah, but
I'll stay in the background.
But like they even mentioned something. There was something you should see about how this could have been something, but how they still Disneyfied it, right? So it was like that scene where and cheap plug, you can watch the reviews. We did all 6 episodes. Where when he would black out and do that thing. Can you imagine if we actually saw what he did? But Disney's gonna be like, nah, we're not gonna do that. So I only saw episode 1, so I don't know what it is that they took, and it's been years since I've seen Daredevil. But they said there's a lot of things that they took out, and like EC said, it's still Disney. They're still going to be like, we're not going to do. But it was still gritty enough where, as later on in the episode, like I forget the henchman that they don't. Kingpin's not in that first episode, but one of his henchmen, he blackmails this one guy to do stuff, and he's clapping. This series is just so great, like so great. And I just want to say real quick, and I'll end it with this. I'm glad that they brought back Charlie Cox to be Ditto, because he just does such a great job. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, I don't know. Like, there's a couple things that bother me about the show. Well, one of the things I wanted to highlight was our girl Miss Page, because she was on another show that I was a huge fan of. And
True Blood.
The show. Yes, almost immediately after that one. She used to play Jess or Jessie in that one, and she came on here playing Paige. Now, it was good to see her face, you know, but I will say that she's a little bit of a homewrecker in this show, because she mentions that when she found the file, that for whatever reason she discovers that her business is embezzling money, her boss. For whatever reason, she tells the boss that she sees the file, which is a big no-no. Like, why would you tell him? And then she says she goes out with the lawyer after work to some bar, and this is the guy who ends up dead in the beginning of the episode, right? And then she goes on, oh, he was so nice. He had a family. I'm like, hold on, what you doing going out with this married man to a bar? What kind of situation is really going on here? I don't know about this Miss Page here. She's a little bit of a homewrecker.
Wait, he had a family, or he had a son?
No, he did.
She said he had a family, and then she also went on to elaborate more that he also had a son. But when you say you have a family and then he had a son, that says to me he had a wife. And you added in the son too.
Well, that's not. I mean,
he had a family.
Said a family,
and then going on to say he had a son. If it was just him and the son, saying he had a family would have sufficed. But no, she's a homewrecker, and I don't like it. And Daredevil, like I said, actually, I actually ended up watching episode 2 by mistake. I thought it was episode 1, but it was episode 2. And I got to see that there's possibly, because I haven't seen the rest of the episodes, another love interest in the form of Rosario
Dawson. Not Rosie O'Donnell.
Not Rosie O'Donnell. And I was like, hold on, how many love interests are in this show? And there was a comment made by Foggy in episode 1 talking about, whenever there's a beautiful woman, here comes what's his name? I forget his name, but
Matt Murdock.
Yeah, Matt Murdock. And he's like, I don't even know how you know they're beautiful, because you're blind. And it seems like he's very much of a dirty bird in this show.
Man. He's having his.
It could be worse. He could be an angry bird.
I'm so glad you mentioned Paige being on True Blood, because I did feel like that she was like the detriment of the show. And now that you told me she's from True Blood, I see why.
Have you seen True Blood?
It's a horrible show. So
have you seen it though?
Yeah, I saw episode 1 and I fell asleep.
So you saw one episode?
That's all I need. I saw one episode to realize it was trash. Yeah.
Well, you can't really judge it off of one episode.
I can't judge it off of True Blood. I could call it fake blood because it was a fake ass show. But anyway, look.
Why is he doing this?
Because C was all doing this and this to everything. So this is my counter. Right? I'm gonna keep it simple. Look.
Never again.
I don't like Paige. Never liked Paige. She was a weak link of the show. Vic, what you got? What you got?
All right, so what interested me in this show was the Spider-Man movie, because when I saw Daredevil in Spider-Man, when he caught the oh shit, okay, when he caught that
The
went
brick?
through the window, whatever it is that he caught.
Yeah, it was a brick.
It was a brick.
It was a brick.
When he caught the brick and through the window, like it kind of was just like, oh word, I gotta watch this show. Because the thing is that the entire time, like, you know, we now watching Marvel movies, you kind of look for like little snippets and little this and how things are connected to other things. So that made me want to watch Daredevil. And then plus, you know, there was a lot of controversy about how it was canceled and then brought back and this and that. And a lot of people were raving about it, and it's one of those things that I missed. So I was getting that like Game of Thrones feel, where I missed out, but then I can kind of catch it. So I started watching it, and I got immersed in it. Like,
Was this your first time watching it?
again, no, the first episode again, no. I was like,
okay.
I mean, but like, because I literally watched till season 3, and I know a lot. You know what I mean? So I don't want to mess up any spoilers or anything like that. But I'll just say this: like, the fact, like, he reminds me of Batman in the sense where like he'll bust his ass to train himself, and what you see later on as to how he gets that training, and then other people that are like him, incredible. Like it's very much like Batman in that sense, but it's kind of like a poor Batman. So the shit that he does and everything that goes on with all of these characters, everything that goes on with all of these characters is very, very compelling. Especially He Who Shall Not Be Named, which I found that to be very interesting. No, I mean not even Tobias. No, fucking Kingpin.
Yeah, Tobias Well. That's what he's giving.
Why? Hold on. You think he reminds you of Tobias from Black Lightning?
Yeah. Kingpin and Tobias is very much the same. Like, because they're both very calculated. They're both very like chess playing type of people. The show is really, really good. It's really compelling. I can't wait for more. I can't wait to see what the continuance is of this. I want to see more of Kingpin, honestly. And then and the other characters that are added to it. Because there's more people that come in and are just
did you so I didn't mean to interrupt, but did you guys hear about, like, with the She-Hulk trailer, they're saying, well, that's an opening that actually include Daredevil and also Echo. So they're gonna eventually have that I think they're starting to film that. So, and Daredevil plays a big part in Echo, like her, I guess I don't know if she counts as a villain or something like that, but they have encounters, and you can see the connection because also too they include Kingpin. But I do want to ask you guys this:
both of them being lawyers, they should have an episode where they're both going up against each other. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, that's how I was.
That would be super dope.
That
would
have
be cool.
Represent you. Who's a better lawyer?
I'm gonna go with She-Hulk. She's more intimidating.
She's more intimidating.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I don't know enough about her to be like I feel like if you watch later on, you see how
I had a huge crush on She-Hulk.
Oh,
she was my first crush in comic books.
Oh, okay. Confessions with the Consultant.
Hey ho
ho. But that would be a fun episode. But I do want to ask this real quick for the she said something that was really interesting, and it was like this Kingpin in the Netflix series seems so different from the Disney version. Do you get that vibe? If anybody saw Hawkeye episode 6, did you guys feel like, oh, this Kingpin don't feel the same like from the Netflix? Did anybody get that vibe? Or
unfortunately, I didn't watch Hawkeye, so I can't speak intelligently on that.
Okay,
and I haven't seen Kingpin yet in Daredevil.
Fair enough. But what about you, Vic? You've seen it all.
Yeah, it's definitely watered down.
That's a shame because see, if you continue to watch, you'll find out Kingpin is one of the most enthralling villains.
He is. No, I agree.
We're talking about, and he's saying the difference between Hawkeye.
No, I'm saying you said he's watered down from the Daredevil show, right?
Yeah, like, you know how brutal he was in Daredevil.
He was the man. He was the man.
Oh my God, yes. One of my favorite scenes is and I don't mean to jump season to season 2 when you have that scene with Matt Murdock and Matt Murdock.
Prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're just like fighting, and he's not no superhuman superhuman.
He was the best villain in the Netflix series. The only
I
person
agree.
I will say
I
that
agree.
comes close is one was it Mariah
Who was that from
Stokes?
Jessica Jones?
Stokes, no, Luke Cage.
Oh,
Alfred
okay.
Wood's character, because she was one evil
Yeah,
person.
yeah. No, she was good.
And
She was
also Jessica Jones, Purple Man guy.
good. Purple Man was good. No,
Purple Man is very good because I wanted him to die, like really bad.
I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, like what was his name? He was in Luke Cage season 2. Something Master. I forgot his name. But that was the one he was fighting for a period, and then
But the problem I always had with Luke Cage's villains is they like die or watered down at the middle of the season. Wanda, Alfred Wood's character, which I think was
No
Wanda.
spoilers.
Okay, you're right. Okay, I'm about to spoil. Sorry about that.
This is our third one shot that we have done.
Yes.
And I was wondering, where would you rank these? So far, I'm a little biased. I think Titans has been the best premiere episode.
Can you tell me which ones y'all done? Y'all did Titans, Daredevil, and what else?
Wonder Years.
Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years, the newer revamp version, or the older
version?
The revamp.
You're muted.
If I were to rank them, not from the episodes we did, because I wasn't on all three, of course, but just from seeing it, I would say, and this is tough. That's a good question, Steve. This is very, very tough because I liked all of them. I'm going with Daredevil, Titans, and then Wonder Years. But as I usually say when I rank stuff, ask me tomorrow, it might be different because I really am a fan of the Wonder Years. And Titans is also very, very good.
And one of the cool things about doing these one shots is episodes or shows you might have never went out your way to go see, and we're like, oh, we're going to do these things. And I thought Titan was incredible, and I thought Wonder Years was incredible too. Titans, I wanted to check it out for the longest time. Eventually got a chance to see it, and I was like, oh, this is dope. This is a really good show. Wonder Years. I was like, as a matter of fact, I kind of was like, oh, okay, sure. Next thing you know, I got myself catching myself sitting there saying, yeah, this is, like it was a really good show. So I guess we all picked some phenomenal shows, and I guess we can reveal what's the next one shot.
The next one shot, we will be doing the very first episode of Stranger Things. But Vic, I'll be interested to hear about which premiere episode you thought was the best out of the three we've done so far. Wonder Years?
Yeah.
Everyone's sticking with their picks here.
No one asked me, though. No one asked me. That's not fair.
I thought you said Daredevil.
No one asked me.
I feel like
I asked everyone.
No,
it's not that because I like all the shows. It's just that I feel like Wonder Years is like a public service announcement. I feel like it's something that people need to see.
I would say Wonder Years is a series that people are sleeping on. I don't think enough people probably are watching it and giving it credit. Mm-hmm. I was forced to watch it. Not really forced to watch it, but the last woman I seriously dated, had me watch it. And I appreciate that. I don't appreciate how she left me, but I appreciated that about her, that she had me watch that show because I wasn't going to watch it. I used to watch the older series, but I wasn't going to watch the newer one. And the newer one was actually very, very good.
It's crazy because now I'm watching them both. Like,
I need to finish season 1 of Wonder Years.
I used to watch the old one and I forgot mad shit. Like, so
very well casted too. That's a good show.
That guy Jack, what was your favorite since you feel like you weren't asked? Here you go.
Daredevil.
Did you go see
Daredevil? I went. I said Titans. Titans split for me.
But just to throw it out there, everyone really picked a great show, and I'm glad that we all picked something different. That
can't pick a bad show.
Yeah, and I think it was great because a lot of us didn't watch said show, and it was the first time, and it made I wanted to see more of Wonder Years and Titans and stuff like that. It's just I always get discouraged because when a season has 20 episodes, I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and watch it.
And congratulations on Wonder Years for getting picked up for another season.
Good for them.
Ooh, nice.
Our girl that was in Black Light, the last season of Black Lightning is in there. So I was like, oh look, I
still haven't watched the last season of Black Lightning. What girl?
She takes over as JJ.
Well, that was one shots.
That is. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Watch Titans, watch Daredevil, watch Wonder Years. You can't go wrong with any of them. We're going to be back for season 1, episode 1 of Stranger Things. That should be fun. And you'll be catching us. You can catch C. She got her YouTube. You can catch us on Unpopular Review. And you can catch us on wrestling, entertainment, and gaming. So someone take us home.